All right, today we're over at my warehouse. We're going to be cleaning up these two Caminus M stoves from RBM Outdoors. These are the largest stoves you can get from RBM right now. I just tested these out for 3 days in 3 tents in temperatures down to 14 degrees. And if you haven't seen those videos yet, go ahead back and watch them because these stoves are awesome. They are beasts. Even at 14 degrees, it kept them up in the 70s inside those tents. But if you want your things to last, you have to maintain them, you have to clean them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to use the simple things we have on this table right here. We're not going to use any chemicals, but we're just going to use these simple things today. I've got this small shop vac I picked up at Walmart. I think it was like 40 bucks. 1.5 gallon shop vac. You don't need a big one. I got a roll of shop towels here. They're basically just extra thick paper towels. I got a little bucket of water here. Picked this bucket up at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Got a towel here. And we've got this brush right here. This is a 3.5 inch wire brush that I got from Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but I'll put the link below. Basically, it comes with these things. You screw it on there to give it a handle. Comes with 4 of them. Depending on how long your stove pipes are, you can connect all 4 of these if you need to. We're just going to use 2 because the stove pipes with the Caminus M are really only about this long each. So you basically put it in the end, twist it around, use this to clean the inside of the pipe. And then of course we got a big trash can over here. We're doing this in an area that can afford to get dirty. I've got concrete floors here, easy to clean up when we're done. And I'm using an old dirty table. So let's go ahead and get started here. You gotta love the smell of a wood burning stove. So basically the first thing we're gonna do is just kind of break it down. We're going to remove these heat deflectors here. These don't really get all that dirty. You can wipe them down just with a towel. Don't even have to get it wet, just give it a quick once over. The really dirty stuff is inside. Take both of those off. Yeah, these just don't get dirty at all. I really don't see a need to take the deflector off on the back. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it comes off completely. I think it's welded on there. But you can see just how dirty this stove is after use. Look at those windows there, they're so tarnished. And then of course, once we open up the front here, I've got stuff in there and there's ash. This is dirty, everything's dirty. You can even see there's ash and soot inside those pipes. And you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. So this is exactly why we clean it. So I'm going to go ahead and close the front there. And before I even start moving it around, I'm just going to use the shop vac for a minute on the top here and inside here. This is why I love this little shop vac. Got the handle, the button's right there on your thumb. Now I would recommend having some gloves on too, like rubber gloves, because your hands are gonna get dirty. But we gotta take everything out of here. I'm gonna put these on to take the pipes out because they're kind of sharp. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Look how tarnished that is. And on the inside, I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's all disgusting soot and ash in there. We want to get all of that out of there. So be careful as you're taking these out. You hit them on the side, it's just going to throw ash and soot everywhere. So this is what we're looking at right here. Look at all the ash that's still in there. I tried to dig that stuff out the best I could before I left the campsite. All the pipes are just so dirty and full of soot and ash. So the first thing we're gonna do is start with the stove pipes. They are so caked on the inside. This is when we're gonna use our wire brush. You can see the wire brush is just slightly bigger than this. And these tines, I guess you call them, they do bend. You can get a smaller brush, but I wanted it like this so that when I put it in there, I know that it's pushing against the edges. So we're just gonna take it, put it over the trash can, stick this in the end here, and just kind of start pushing through. Look at that. Now, once you put it in there, whatever direction you're going, you can't turn it and push the other way. So be careful when you pull it out the top. Turn it like this, pull it out, because you're gonna have ash falling out of there. And that did clean that up pretty good there. Try to twist it a little bit while you're pushing it through. Same thing when you're bringing it back out. Just remember, whenever you pull it out, there's ash and soot coming with it. Now I'm gonna take one of these shop towels and put it on the end here. And I'm gonna push that through. Look at that. Look at all that soot on there. And here you can see how much better that is, how much cleaner it is. Even though there's still streaks of stuff in there, it's much cleaner than it was. Now I'm just gonna take a piece of junk towel that I have sitting around here, put it on here, and push that through once, just to kind of wipe out all the rest of that stuff. You're gonna have to kind of pull it tight like this, because otherwise it's tough to get that in there, because it is tight. So we'll just push that through. Yeah, look at all that coming out. Might have to fight with it a little bit to get it in there. Push it through again, and look at all that soot. And there we go, that is much cleaner. That's probably about as clean as we're gonna get it. I'm gonna run through the same process with the other 4 pipes here. As far as the outside, you can just wipe it down. Really no reason it needs to be sparkling clean. It's never gonna look like it did when it first came out of the box, unfortunately. But there we go, that's what your clean stovepipe looks like right there. Okay, those are done. For the spark arrestor, it's a little bit different, because on this model of stove, the top is permanent. You cannot remove that top. I wish you could, but again, if you look down through here, you can see where it's just full of soot and ash, and especially in the spark arrestor up here. So that's a little bit more difficult to clean. You just got to do the best you can. Same process, only the wire brush does not come out the end when it gets down here. Messy, but I'm gonna move it around in there. Just be very careful. And that wire brush did clean it up pretty good in there. There's some soot underneath in here. I need to invest in a small brush because the soot is collected a little bit underneath that lid there, and that cleaned it up pretty good actually. Just like you're washing dishes. Okay, so I got some fresh water there. Now we're gonna move on to our shop vac, because we need to sweep the inside of this thing out. So that worked pretty good. That took care of getting all the loose ash out of there. So it's good that we do still have a little bit of ash in there, because I watched a video a while back about somebody cleaning their stove with a little bit of the ash. As the ash mixes with the water on your towel, it forms kind of like a little paste, and that surprisingly does an excellent job cleaning especially the windows. So with that in mind, we are going to start with our windows, starting with this one right here. Get that a little wet. A little bit of ash on it. And look at that. Look at that. That is crazy clean right now. Wow. That is awesome. And that's how you want your windows to look, because half the reason you have a wood stove is so that you can watch the fire burn. And because somebody was asking about removing the glass panels to clean them, we're gonna go ahead and do that. There are just 3 screws right here on the end. Remove those. You can see that the glass slides there. Pull that off. And the glass slides right out. So you'll also notice that around the edges is this white gasket. This is a fireproof membrane, basically, that just protects the edges of the glass. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that off. Now that is in really good shape there, so we're gonna save it and use it again when we put it back. But if you remember when I did the unboxing, it actually comes with 2 more gaskets. Just in case the glass breaks, you need to replace anything. But we're gonna do the exact same thing that we just did with that other small piece of glass. We're gonna take some paper towel here, get it a little wet, rub it around on the inside of the stove and get some of that ash on there. And then just start cleaning. Look at that. Man, that takes that off immediately. Careful not to drop it. This soot here needs a little bit more scrubbing, but get a little bit more ash on there and that acts as an abrasive without scratching the glass. Yeah, look how clean that is. We've still got a little bit of this soot down here, but since I'm doing this with the glass out of the stove, I want to be careful. I want to make sure I don't break it. But that did come pretty clean. You can see that it is yellowed, but I don't think we'll ever get that out of there. Yeah, that turned out pretty dang clean. You can see where this is a white stripe under there, and when I set it down, it looks yellow. So the glass is yellow, tarnished from the fire, but that came pretty dang clean. I'm not gonna take out the second one, but now we have this side open. We have even better access to clean the inside of the stove. So we'll just get this other one washed up, the same process. Get some of these ashes up here. Look at that. That immediately wipes off of there. Oh my gosh. Wow, yeah, that is really clean. You can see where there's a little bit of buildup of ash on the bottom of where the glass sits in there, but we wouldn't get that out of there unless we remove that plate like we did the other one. I do also want to point out that we have this, and this is not any kind of an ash catcher right here, at least as far as when your fire is burning. What I do is pull it out about this far when I'm initially using this to scrape out the ashes. That way, you reach in, get a shovel full of ashes, pull it out, and as it falls down, it's going in here before you dump it in your trash. So as far as cleaning this out, I mean, there's not much in it. Blow on it and it's clean. And when I say shoveling out your ash and putting it in the garbage, what I mean is shoveling out the ash and putting it in a fire pit or a fireproof container. So now all we have left to do is basically just wash out the inside and then wash down the outside a little bit. Our glass is done. They're all crystal clear. We've got most of the ash out of here because we swept it out with the shop vac first. We wiped up a lot of that when we were cleaning the windows. Now we're basically just gonna go over everything and wipe it out the best we can. You're never gonna get 100% of those ashes out. And it's not like you have to do this every single time you use your stove. You just want to do it enough to maintain it. Once you got the inside wiped down, just start going over the outside. Just give it a quick wipe down. It doesn't need to be beautiful. I don't even know what the heck that is. Little cracks and crevices. And like I said, it's just water. We're not using any kind of chemicals or anything. Put our glass back in this side, wrap our gasket back around there nice and tight, slide that right in, and put your screws back in. Clean up your stuff. I highly recommend disposable towels. Yeah, look at how dirty these hands are. Clean stove, ready for the next camping trip. Drawer back in. But other than that, we have got a super clean stove using just water and a couple of other things. No chemicals, no harsh abrasives. We'll get this packed back up. We'll take it camping on our next trip and know that we can burn it without breathing in ash and soot. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Stay tuned because we've got some awesome camping adventures coming up. We've got the brand new Cootie Hub tent that I just unboxed and reviewed. If you guys want to check out that video, it is my favorite tent so far because it allows you to connect other tents like the Cootie Koala 7 and basically build a mansion out of it, which I'm going to be doing.